welcome to John and Lisa's Jazz Joint. We're taking our third look at Duke Ellington. We're reading the phase right now where he starts to get a lot of notice in Hollywood. And so in 1929, he is playing a role in the movie. The movie's called Black and Tan, and he plays the hero in a 19-minute all African American effort. The following year, he played at the Roseland. By he, I mean with his band. He played at the Roseland Ballroom, which was America's foremost ballroom, the most important one in the country. So he was starting to get a lot of recognition. And then the following year, in 1931, he starts to play at the Cotton Club in Harlem. So how did he, he played the piano, so how did he conduct the band? I mean, he's got about anywhere from 14 to 25 members. Well, in his case, he would stay at the piano and he would give piano cues and gestures. Very rarely did he use the baton. He would rather use piano gestures or and can control the band basically by a combination of charm, humor, flattery, psychology. So it was, I think, a fun place to be. However, the economic times were not very good. By the 1930s, 90% of the artists were dropped by the recording studios. And so they had to look for other outlets. Radio shows, television was not around at that point. Radio became the medium by which people kept their names in front of the audience. And so, in addition to radio programs, they started to do touring. And they would be playing things like It Don't Mean a Thing That Ain't Got That Swing in 1932. Mood Indigo, 1930, which we did in episode number 2. Sophisticated Lady, 1933, is the one that we're going to do today. We're going to start with that. And again, Solitude, we did that in episode number 1. And in A Sentimental Mood, 1935, that will probably be in the next episode, number 4. So here we are at A Sophisticated Lady, and it was done by Ella Fitzgerald. And it's really a story in 1933. You have to remember that between, in the 60-year period, Duke Ellington composed over 1,000 songs in those 60 years. And many of them are played without people realizing that Duke Ellington was the composer. All right, so Sophisticated Lady, sung by Ella Fitzgerald. And it's a story about early love and disappointment and how you carry that through your life. They say that into your early life romance came, and in this heart of yours burned a flame that flickered one day and died away. Then, with disillusion deep in your eyes, you learn that fools in love soon grow wise. The years have changed you somehow. I see you now. Smoking and drinking, never thinking of tomorrow. Nonchalant, diamond shining, dancing, dining with some man in a restaurant. Is that all you really want? No. Sophisticated lady, I know you missed the love you lost long ago. And when nobody is nigh, you cry. Sophisticated Lady from 1933. Now, to pick up our story again, one of the things that is rather fascinating is that any artist really benefits by having an agent. And this fellow, Irving Mills, took on um, Duke Ellington's career, much as Colonel Tom Parker took on Elvis Presley's career. But the arrangement was that Mills would get 45% of all of Duke's future earnings. And so while he was making the arrangements for Duke's orchestra, he was also benefiting a great deal. And you'll find Irving Mills' name attached to many of the Duke Ellington compositions, even though he didn't do anything with them. He simply arranged for it and took the money. Anyway, uh, in 1927, we had mentioned that uh, Mills had arranged for Ellington to play at the Cotton Club in Harlem, and this was for an exclusively white and wealthy clientele. And he moved in with a dancer, his second wife, Mildred Dixon. So from the Cotton Club, radio programs came out every week, and this gave him national exposure. And he recorded many songs by different teams. We've done specials on Jimmy Hughes and Dorothy Fields, Fats Waller, Andy Razaf. And what was interesting about Duke was that he was not exclusive. He gave the people in his band an opportunity to blossom, if you can put it that way. One of them was a trumpeter by the name of Bubber Miley, and he had a different sound. He used to put a different muzzle on his trumpet. And instead of getting a smooth sound, he would get a growling sound. And so it became a new trademark for the Duke Ellington band to have this jungle sound. It created the song The Creole Love Call and became a world sensation in 1927, sung by Adelaide Hall. Now, things being difficult in the States, where his audience was mainly Afro American, but not at the Cotton Club I mentioned, he toured England, Scotland, France, and Holland in 1932-33. And at the London Palladium, he received an ovation when he walked on stage. And the critics encouraged him to write longer pieces of music. So when his mother died in 1935, he wrote a piece called Reminiscing in Tempo, and it took 4 record sides in order to actually record this composition of Duke Ellington's. In that year as well, he won an Academy Award for Best Musical Short Subject, in which he introduced Billie Holiday in a film called A Rhapsody of Negro Life. So um, when he toured in the south of the United States, there was still a lot of segregation. And the way in which his band would get around it when they were traveling by train, he would hire the whole train car so that it was exclusively for his band. And that would cut down the interaction with the white supremacists that were in the South. So we're now, it's 1936. Right now, jukeboxes have become very popular in the United States. And again, Duke Ellington, as you will have learned from some of the pieces that we played so far, he was more interested in the music. And what he had to say about it was that jazz is music, swing is business. And another way of saying some of the music they played was to earn a living. But on his own, because he was composing so many pieces of music, that was his life. Um, Jazz then was where his heart was. And in his memoir is entitled "Jazz Music is My Mistress." That was the way he summarized his life, which was written a couple of years before he passed on. All right, we're going to close today with another look at ladies. This one is called Satin Doll, and it was written 20 years later. So, and the thing is, it's a different look at ladies than sophisticated ladies. Sophisticated lady was about a lady with disappointment in her early life. This one is about a lady that's taken control of the situation. She's dressed to the nines, and she's out to find herself a guy, and he's wondering if he's going to be the guy. He even talks to himself in this song. So we're going to conclude then with Satin Doll by Duke Ellington in 1953. Hope you enjoy it.
Hand it for John.
Cigarette holder, which wigs me over her shoulder. She digs me out cotton, that satin doll. Baby, shall we go out skipping? Careful, amigo, you're flippin'. Speaks Latin, that satin doll. She's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Telephone numbers, well, you know, doing my rumbas with Uno and Latin, my satin doll. She's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Rice-a-roni, telephone numbers, well, you know, doing my rumba with Uno and my satin doll. So that does it for Lisa and myself, and and the phone keeps ringing. See you next time. Take care. Bye now.